Hello, I'm Alison Heath, the longevity rescuer and the host of the EMF Summit. A lot of people are not really that familiar with EMF. So I'd like to give you a sort of a brief overview from a layman's point of view. I will be talking to a great many experts who have spent years and years and years researching the subject. But let me attempt to give you an idea as to what EMF is. EMF is an electromagnetic field. It's a whole spectrum. It's a broad spectrum. If we look at autism, for example, the broad spectrum of autism, you can have Asperger's syndrome, you can have people who are more autistic and less able to function. It's a good example because Dr. Klinghardt, who specializes in working with children that are autistic, has linked EMF radiation exposure to autism. Autism has a broad spectrum and electromagnetic fields have a broad spectrum. We find them in nature. For example, the earth has a magnetic field. Our bodies have an electrical field. So when we decide we're going to move our hand, for instance, that is sent via an electrical impulse along the nerves to have the hand do it. Our heart has electrical impulses, an electrical field. Animals have them as well. And the earth has its own magnetic field, which goes from north to south. And it's interesting because a lot of animals who also have electromagnetic fields tune themselves with the earth. So we have birds, we have bees, even cows are attuned to the earth's electromagnetic field. And that's why before there's a tsunami or an earthquake, the dogs will start barking and everything because they're in touch with that earth magnetic field. But then we also have man-made electromagnetic fields. We have an electric field that's in your appliances and so on. It's always there, whether your appliance is turned on or turned off. It's always there. The magnetic field is something that goes along with that electric field. The electric field makes a wave going along like this. That wave, each peak, is how many cycles it waves. So how quickly it waves per second. In Europe, it's 50 cycles a second, or 50 hertz. In North America, it's 60. When we have this wave, we also have something that's sort of jagged going along at the same time, and that's dirty electricity that's happening. And that also has an effect on our health. Every time that it's being used, the appliance is turned on, the electrical current is flowing, there is a magnetic field that's associated with that. So we call it electromagnetic fields. And these electromagnetic fields create electromagnetic radiation. Again, we have this broad spectrum of radiation. We go from a very low radiation, and they call it ELF, it's electromagnetic low field, low radiation field. Then we have a very high one, and the high one could be gamma rays. It could be like what we're getting from Fukushima, X-rays. Those are the high ones, and those have the ability to take a cell and break it. This is something that the lower fields don't have the same ability to do. As we're going along this spectrum, okay, from the low ones, which could be your electric can opener, all the way up to the gamma rays, and as we're going along that spectrum, we have different things occurring. And one of those is your microwave is heating. It's actually giving thermal heat to the body. Now, science right now, in some countries, they're recognizing that there could be an effect on the body. The system could be affected by non-thermal radiation. Radio frequency, electromagnetic fields. These RF fields are things that fall above your can opener and your electrical appliances and the telephone lines and all of these different things. We also have the rollout of the smart meters. And as the smart meters roll out, they have been associated with higher electrical costs. They've been associated with childhood leukemia because often they're placed on the outside wall of a bedroom where a child's sleeping. And we don't think about it when we think about how pregnant women are exposed to electromagnetic radiation and what that does to the fetus. Because you see, children are not little adults. Their skulls are much thinner. They're much more susceptible to electromagnetic radiation. And we even have electromagnetic radiation from radio tires. When you think about this, we're exposed all across the board, and it is increasing exponentially. I mean, if you think about it, think about 20 years ago or 10 years ago, how many cell towers there were. And now look at the proliferation of cell towers there are. Wireless, the WiMAX. These things are really having an effect on our health, and we need to be aware of it. All of those electric fields can actually have an effect on your health. And this is becoming more and more prevalent because it's accumulative. So we've been adding it up and adding it up and adding it up as we add more toys and more TVs in every room and our iPads and our cell phones and all of our different gadgets that we're adding to ourselves. And it's creating the problem. I'm going to gather all of the experts that I can possibly reach together to talk about this, to address this, because the best thing that we can do is understand. Because, for example, if we look at animals, the little fox is able to hunt a mouse in the snow. When it's covered deep down in the snow, he'll leap up and he'll go down and he'll catch that mouse. And they did studies on this, and they found that what he's doing is he's following the Earth's magnetic forces. So he always goes north to south in his jump. And he's able to see the little disruption in that magnetic field of the Earth by the mouse's presence, how the mouse is disrupting that. And we need to understand the electrical field is interrupted by walls and trees and things like this. But the magnetic field that's also associated, as soon as that current flow is going on, it goes through glass, it goes through buildings, it goes through walls. So we're not protected in the same way. And it's really up to us to start understanding this more and start finding better ways to deal with our technology, ways that aren't going to harm our health. So I warmly invite you to join me on the EMF Summit. There's going to be some amazing experts, and you're going to learn a great deal. What you'll learn will allow you to help protect yourself, protect your children, protect your grandchildren, and make this a better earth for the animals, plants, and people. So I warmly welcome you. All the best, and let's make this the best year yet.